Right, we are live. Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back to the Kiwi Lads channel. We are here for the second semi-final. We've just seen one game go to extra time. That was the matchup between Ireland and the USA. In the end, it is the Irish who have booked themselves the spot through to the final. Now we have got the second semi-final, New Zealand versus South Africa. Now in Union, it's always a fun time watching these two sides clash. Sevens, it is no different. And with the sides that they've put out there on the field, certainly could be an extremely close game. Looking through at New Zealand starting lineup, it will be Sam Dixon, Tony Nyashu, Shay Clark, Joe Webber, Akuria, Rocco Lesoa, Leroy Carter, and Caleb Tangitau. Quite a similar lineup to what we saw in their last game up against the French, in which they were able to win it 20 points to nil in the quarter-final. Then South Africa, Ryan Oosterhuizen, MP Visa, JC Pretorius, the World Uman, Seveve Sawyers Wapi, and Mulla Duplessis. And then the man of the match, for me anyway, in the last game, Ricardo James Duarte. So they have actually gone with an identical lineup to what they had in their semi-final fixture, or quarter-final, up against the Samoans. But we have got index going for New Zealand there. South African flags from Gareth. Come on, South Africa, says Rugby Itch there as well. And I think this game, there's a chance that it could be won by the reserves, because there's a lot of talent off both teams' benches, and it's all about deciding the right time to unleash them. But the starting lineup, they've got to start well for these sides. That's exactly what they'll be looking to do. Aotearoa, says T, and let's go, says Nate. The winner gets the final matchup, and they will be playing up against the Irish. New Zealand have come up against Ireland quite a bit in recent times in the Seventh Circuit, but it's kicked off long by South Africa. Knock on from the youngster there, Shay Clark, straight off the bat. And now South Africa have got the ball in their hands. Going back across. It's going to be the World Uman with a great step in the midfield. Tony Nashu with the flat pass goes off to JC Pretorius. It's a knock on in New Zealand now. Will get themselves a scrum beat in 26-19 to South Africa. And Auckland South, Riva says index there. My team in sevens is Samoa, but Soccer World Cup is Argentina, Lionel Messi. And he is going to be playing a little bit later on in the day. Argentina taking on the Australians in the FIFA World Cup round of 16. Okay, scrum feed. It's going to be New Zealand who have got themselves the feed into this one with the Koala Rockley Soa now. In the last game up against France, he stepped about 5 of the players in one play. We're looking to do that. This game up against South Africa, although I don't think South Africa would let that happen. It's going to be the nice pass from Joe Webber. Goes off the Tangi Tau. That was high from Seveve Sawyers Wapi, right up round the chin. Might be just a yellow card, yes, they say. Or, sorry, just a penalty, I should say, rather than the yellow card. Now, all-time Dubai titles. South Africa at the top. They have had 9. New Zealand in second with 6. And England in third with the 4. Now, Samoa, back in the day, they were able to get themselves a DUBAI Sevens win. As on Messi or Ronaldo, Hamish says, Tala. I feel like that's kind of like that one that splits the community, just like Bowden Barrett or Richie Moonga for the All Blacks. That always seems to have a 50-50 in the results. So now Rockley Soa tries to break through, goes off to Shay Clark, sitting 35 metres out from the line now for New Zealand. Tony Nashu goes off to the left. Caleb Tangitau is waiting there, gives it off to his teammate Leroy Carter. Just staying on his feet. Just for now, trying to show off a little bit of his strength, getting a couple extra meters post-contact. Tony Nashu sold the dummy brilliantly and now backs his pace. The World Human, he stepped round him. He's got Rockley Soa on the side, but instead goes off to Sam Dixon White, who steps round Seveve Sawyers Wapi. Now 15 meters out. Nashu goes to Rockley Soa. New Zealand have numbers, but so do South Africa until the draw and pass out to Caleb Tangitau. And he scores the try for New Zealand, the first of the matchup now for the Kiwis. The Blues representative, Caleb Tangitau. The question is, where is he even going to go on the Blues backline? They've already got a stacked enough backs as it is. They're not going to need another player, but they decided why not get themselves Caleb Tangitau as well. Maybe securing him before any other Super Rugby side does, because they know how dangerous of an individual Tangitau can be. Leroy Carter found that pass and the quick hands from Shay Clark, the youngster, to be able to find Tangitau on his outside, who is also very young. I believe he's only about 21, 22 years of age. Kicked long and Rockley, so he's missed that kick, so the score will remain at 5-0 for New Zealand. Rokarisoa about to kick off this one. 12 passes for New Zealand there. So it took them a little while to be able to break through. Hasn't gone the 10. Massive knock on from Ryan Oosthuizen. He decided to attack the ball even though it hadn't gone the 10 meters. And then that was the big mistake. Now Rokarisoa goes through inside ball after Leroy Carter. He's got 3 Blitzboks players chasing him. And he's going to get caught as well. Look for the offload. It's going to be the knock on, though, from New Zealand. When is the final? Says Tautala, the final, I believe, it's going to be taking place at 4:28 a.m. I'll just quickly make sure that is the right time. 4:26 a.m., in fact. And it will be Ireland versing the winner of this contest. And also South Auckland says index, and also South Auckland said index. And will you call Oz Argentina tomorrow, says Annoy. Unfortunately, that is one of those games that does actually overlap with something else we are doing in real life outside of the stream. So it isn't actually a different stream that overlaps, but it is something that we have got on tomorrow morning. So sadly, we can't actually do Argentina versus Australia. It's a game I would have loved to cover, though, because Argentina, they come in as heavy favourites, whereas Australia, they're looking to cause an upset. And come on the Blitz, show the Blitz. Says Jerry there. Is it Jerry? It might just be Jerry. Is it? I might have said that a little bit too fancily. And fancily is a word. Okay, Devalt Uman actually looks like he's got a relatively serious injury here. Going to be taken off the field, and Van Vick going to be making his way out there. It's a big shame from Uman. I believe it is that leg that has got a lot. In fact, it's the other leg that's not heavily strapped. So this might be bad news for the Devalt Uman. We've already seen 4 tackles from the South Africans, which is definitely not a stat that they'll be proud of throughout the first 3 minutes of the contest. It will be Duarte who is about to feed the ball in. He's a pocket rocket, and he's already scored 2 tries in the last game for the South Africans up against Samoa. Right, time is about to be back on. Duarte Uman gets a bit of a round of applause from the crowd as he makes his way off the field. Duarte, you ready to place this ball? And who is the fastest 7 player to you, Hamish? Says Tautala. Are we talking just in this game or in general? Because in this game, you'd have to say it's probably either Caleb Tangitau, Rokarisoa, or Sifiwe Soyas Wapi, or maybe JC Pretorius gets a little bit of a mention there for his pace also. Yeah, probably one of those 4 if we are just talking this matchup. South Africa are looking to make their 4th straight Dubai final. There's a reason they've got 9 titles, more than anyone else. That is because they know how to win in Dubai. Currently 5-0 down, nicely taken by Ryan Oosthuizen. Duarte goes across. Chiton Van Vick does nicely to hang on to that one. And now nice pass on the outside to Sifiwe Soyas Wapi. We're about to find a foot race. Luenam and Caleb Tangitau. But nicely cut off early by Leroy Carter. Counter ruck from New Zealand. Penalty. Okay, made contact, then hands on the ball. So they've said was no clear release. And let's prove we are. And we'll stay world champs. And also, how about all the teams? I mean, Perry Baker's got to be up there in all teams. Corey Toole, another very quick player for Australia. Not actually playing in this DUBAI Sevens, but he's got a mention there. There's also a couple other players who I feel bad for not being able to think of them off the top of my head. But quite a few quick players around. And also, we have there you go, Blitz. There's Ezra. It's going to be not straight from South Africa. And now New Zealand will have themselves to scrum fit and come on. South Africa says Ezra was fast. Howlett faster than Cullen and Vidiri. I think Howlett was faster than Cullen, but I'm not sure about Vidiri. I'll say yes, but it's a slight, only a guess. And Quadzilla for Oz, 10.1 seconds, 100 meter. Says Hanoi Trippier there. Or Tripper, I should say. And New Zealand about to feed the ball in again. Rokarisoa already 6 minutes down in the first half of the semi-final. Back there. Leroy Carter goes across. Joe Weber breaking the line now. He's got the option on his inside to go to Caleb Tangitau, and he finds him. Another offload to Leroy Carter. He's going to be in a foot race. Ryan Oosthuizen tries to stop him. He won't. And Tangitau receives the pass, scores the try. My voice is going. We've still got a few more live streams later on today. Tangi Tao goes straight through. And also we have got there, did you get a bath, Hamish, or sunburn? And yeah, I think I'm just, it's probably because I've got a light right there, so it kind of makes it look like I'm redder than I am. There we go. From one of these angles, the camera changes and I look a lot less red. There you go. It still looks a little red, doesn't it? And our basics, South Africa basics, man, are going to take the Blitzboks a while to get back to the standard or they were at, I think, due to the change in coaching staff, says Ethan. And New Zealand is my home, South Auckland, New Zealand. And how about Owen Nui? Because he outran Perry Baker. That is true. Owen Nui, a very quick player for the Samoans. One last kickoff here, New Zealand able to convert and trying to slap that one back. It was Joe Weber. New Zealand giving away the knock on there. South Africa inside of their own 22. Severi Sawyers Wapi, what can he do now? Fires it on the outside. It'll be a nice bit of work from him, Visa to stay in the field of play. It's actually going to be another penalty against New Zealand. He wasn't quite on the mark, Severi Sawyers Wapi. And Blitzboks lost mojo, like it is England. Says Annoy and also useful win, says Ezra. And there as well. Right. They're deciding what they want to do. Rhinus de Hazen, about to take the quick tap. I think Owen is the fastest, says Tal. And Ireland will be at your sleeve in there. Says Ezra. And hey, we beat Australia reigning champs in Samoa. Not like the booked or the box are suddenly says Gareth. Yeah, they've had a pretty decent tournament overall. They've had a couple big wins. Beating us, like you mentioned, beating Australia and Samoa, two top contenders. That was a hard sentence to say, Gareth. You said it a lot better than I did. That's going to be New Zealand's penalty. Now, I'd like to think that they wouldn't kick this one into touch. Unless, of course, it's going for a line-out because they're currently 1 minute 40 past and they know that this is their opportunity to try and really attack the Blitzboks while they're down. That's a good kick downfield, 15 metres out the line. Dawar, says Nate there. And you look beautiful, says Index. Cheers. But the what they just had to watch out for Sam Dixon, who came flying in, got himself over the ball, got the turnover. Currently 2 minutes already past for halftime. And these two sides want to keep on playing. New Zealand about to go for the line-out. It's thrown in. Nicely taken by Sam Dixon. Now off the back, Tony Nashu. Penalty advantage. New Zealand. Oh, he's very lucky because he wasn't on the mark. Because he dropped the ball as well. He knocked it on, but because he wasn't on the mark, they are able to continue. I think he's going to go for the quick tap here. Tony Nashu goes across to Rocaliso. One more Leroy Carter. Joe Weber waits for it in behind. Another drawing pass now. Caleb Tangitao cuts back on the inside. Trying to wrestle his way through. I think Severi Sawyers Wapi has done enough to keep him held up. You're going to have to go upstairs, though, for it. And also, we've got that video spot next week. Asia Coast Wales says annoying at the minute. As Orthodox Christian convert fasting for weeks. Says Ezra. And also, we're going to be a bit better from the last tournament. But last tournament was one of the worst in memory, but still not quite firing like we were at this stage last year. Barely made mistakes, says Ethan. Although it's an interesting. Oh, this one could be close. Sawyers Wapi, I think, has done enough to keep that one off the turf. So that will be no try. Held up halftime, 12 points to 0 in favour of New Zealand. Now, that's not enough of a lead to warrant a win yet. I would say that they probably need one or two more tries at least to really secure this victory. I'm going to have to stretch because one of my ribs has gone numb. That's not good. I think I've been slouching too much. I cannot actually feel there. Not ideal. Right, no clear and obvious evidence. I don't think we need to watch this one 15 times. I think it's a no try. That's going to be halftime between these two sides, but brilliantly done by Sawyers Wapi to stop it. And not many likes, over 200 viewing. Is that all South Africa fans watching CSK? I think we got a majority of the viewers from South Africa. A few of our regulars popping back in as well, which is absolutely awesome to see. But anyone who is new, be sure to hit that subscribe button. We're going to be back for the final and the third place playoff game, which is going to be taking place at 3:07 a.m. I believe we're going to be back for that one anyway. And did you play for Southland, Hamish? I did not. But someone who does play for Southland is Ethan de Groot. I saw he went live on Instagram earlier on to show off the amount of beverages that him and his mates had consumed. And then he suddenly ended his live stream. It was a bit of a weird one. New Zealand's going to win it all. Says Index and his Spitman and the Spitty guys playing in Dubai. They are not. So I believe, looking at the South African side, I mean, you've got JC Pretorius. He's got a bit of speed. So is Wapi as well. And then you've got Van Vick. Probably another one. I've got heard of him. Says Ezra there. Pass is completed. A total of 25 by New Zealand. Really trying to keep that ball moving around like it's hot potato. But South Africa, they haven't had a lot of opportunities. And McKenzie does. Says Ezra. Damien McKenzie plays for Southland. Are you sure that's not Marty McKenzie, Ezra? Damien McKenzie, I think he's more of a Waikato boy. But Marty McKenzie, I believe, is actually Southland, if I'm not wrong. Always come through with the live action. Says Index in there as well. Okay, the boys have had their huddles, and now it's about making the impact in the second half. And also, I appreciate you. So, says Index. Yeah, like I mentioned, and now McKenzie is. Wait, so Damien McKenzie is playing for Southland. Is that correct, Ezra? And Tuna Tuitama, the new guy raced with a guy named Johnny Key in Samoa, and Johnny Key won, says Tautala. Rokali Soa. Have to kick this one off. Caleb Tony Tow's actually 19, they've just said. He's even younger than I thought he was. I said 21, 22. Okay, Shea Clark was offside there. Luckily, they haven't gone to his side. Slapped back by New Zealand, but waiting for it was Duplessis. And now it's going to be a foot race. Rokali Soa thinks he's going to get him. He doesn't stop him, though. And Muller Duplessis, 11 seconds is all it took for the South Africans to get back into this contest. Are you happy with the Northern Tour results from New Zealand, says Annoy? What do we do in the Northern Hemisphere? I've got to remember. We beat Japan just. Probably not the best result overall for the Kiwis. They beat Scotland. They waited too late to be able to get that victory. They won against Wales comfortably, but then they drew with England. So I'd say it wasn't terrible. And probably it was better than what we had last time when we went to the Northern Hemisphere, when we lost to France and Ireland. And go, our Muller boy. Yes, Ethan there as well. But that was brilliantly done by Muller Duplessis, celebrating big time with the big dive for the South Africans. That kick's gone over. And just like that, 1 minute gone, 12 points to 7. South Africa back in the contest, and they will be kicking this one off. It is Duarte. About get this one underway. New Zealand, 4 tackles made, 4 tackles missed. South Africa, 8 tackles made, 7 tackles missed. Don't cut South Africa out, says Index. Exactly right. You got to watch them right to the final whistle. We said that in the game up against the Samoans, and we'll say it every single time that the Blitzboks are in action. Joe Weber now with the wide cutout pass, finds Shea Clark, tries to break through, but a good tackle made by JC Pretorius. Clean steal from Saviwe Soyas Wapi. And South Africa have their hands back on the ball again. Shelton Van Vick goes on the outside. MP Visa one more now, looking to link up with Duplessis. The try scorer passes out to Ryan Oosthuizen, who cuts up to the 22. Back across. Van Vick goes to Soyas Wapi, looking for the corner, passes off now to Duarte, who steps and goes through for the South Africans. The speedster Duarte has scored another one. And now South Africa, they will take the lead in this matchup. And come on, South Africa, and Foster should be sacked, to be honest, but in Joe and John Plumtree. I don't think either of them actually want the job, though. Why would you? You end up losing a game, the whole of New Zealand hates you. And also we have got there, nice, says Nathan, also well game of 2 halves, says Ethan, exactly right, and try says Annoy in New Zealand, says it was Index there, but Duarte, he's just got such a low center of gravity, but he's a ball of absolute rage, muscle, and ability, really, I guess is the best way of describing him. Duarte just sells the dummy, fends off Joe Weber as if he was a tiny man trying to tackle him. And also they got paid out, says Index there. Like they said, Duarte, he's always pumped up, always going to be well and truly going for it out there on the park. I think Branco de Prea now has made his way out onto the field for the Blitzboks. All right, 4 minutes left, and they will prove wrong. Joe is from Manal, says Ezra. Yeah, I think he just doesn't want the job. I think he's actually been asked about it in the past and didn't say he really had any interest. And it's mad Razor hasn't been locked in post World Cup. New Zealand Rugby Union, says Elon. Yeah, and Ricardo Bullet raised the water. I reckon I would take that as a nickname. I reckon he would take that as a nickname, says Ethan. And there as well, Shay Clark with a nice American football style pass off to Regan Ware, ball on the inside to Roca Lesoa, and now he's in a foot race. Branko de Perea, he's not quick enough. And also, it will be Blood who won't be able to catch Roca Lesoa. Scores the try, sells a little dummy in the process, and puts the ball down between the sticks. Celebrates it as well, Roca Lesoa. Right. 3.5 minutes left. New Zealand take the lead back. This one's certainly a seesaw of an encounter, as they always are. South Africa versus New Zealand. That was a brilliant offload from Shay Clark. Then the flick back on the inside from Regan. We have found Roca Lesoa. I don't think Branko de Perea is 100%, which may be why he isn't playing every single game for the South Africans, and he's definitely not in the starting lineup. And down because he got wheels of Roca Lesoa. He certainly does. He is quick, and he has been scoring plenty of tries throughout the DUBAI Sevens. That kick's gone over. Oh. Is he being taken off the field now? He might be. I think he is, yeah. They've taken Roca Lesoa off the field. That is a massive decision after the Autumn Nations. What's your favourite leaderboard looking like for next year's World Cup? I think for me, it is still France at the top, because at the end of the day, their win streak speaks for itself. Then I would say, I want to say Ireland, but just currently, I think it's Ireland. And then you probably go New Zealand and South Africa as your next two sides ranking. That's going to be another penalty. Favour of South Africa, they weren't quite on the mark. And I was like, damn, here's index there and 2 tries to South Africa. And I'm in the money, says Gareth. Oh, how much did you put on them, Gareth? You let me know. And did you put it on them when they were 12-0 down? Because if you did, that's probably paying decent money. Branko de Perea kicks it downfield, looks for touch, and he does manage to find it. Now, this could be another game that goes to golden point time, depending on how it ends up working out. Right, the what day? I think you'd be more angry if he got taken off the field at this stage than anything else. And you have to agree on your order there, I think. But it is still quite fluid still. Says Ethan. Yeah, it's still up for grabs, which is awesome. Sad thing is, those 4 top teams that I listed, all on the same side of the Rugby World Cup draw. 2 of them will be knocked out in the quarterfinals, which is a bit of a shame. Overall, Branko de Perea. About to throw it in. Go onto the back. Nicely taken there by James Murphy. Now Branko de Perea stepping through almost, but Kurt Baker takes him down on the 22. Joe played Manawa 2. There's Ezra. And also Joe Weber, if we're talking about him. He's played for Bay of Plenty in the Bunnings EBC. Van Vick almost gone right up the middle. The ball comes free. Dolphin Blood decides he doesn't want to get it, but it was a last-ditch tackle made. I believe that was Brady Rush who got onto it. Shelton Van Vick. It's going to hit New Zealand. It's a yellow card. It's going to be considered a deliberate knockdown, and it is in the rulebook. Amanaki Nicole off the field now for the remaining time in this match. Game isn't over. Well, game over, isn't it? Not quite. Still time on the clock. 1 minute 30 in New Zealand, now down to only 6 men on the field. And also World Cup draw is bent or broken even, says Elon. And we've actually got a video idea that's coming up, maybe in the next couple months or so, where we are going to do something to do with that World Cup kind of thing and look through the way that the draw is sitting. Duarte now passes off. Branko de Perea, he's over. And New Zealand now concede their 3rd try of the match. Is 19-19 with an important kick to come. And also basics Blitzboks come in there as well. And let's go. South Africa, says Nate. Oh, she's a bit of a seesaw at the moment. That is for sure. Now, gonna be Manaki Nicole off the field for another 1 minute 30. What a game, says Elon. It certainly is an important kick for Duarte. He's missed. He has missed. One thing that he has done wrong, he has been absolutely perfect everywhere else in the 7 so far. But that time, the kick has missed away to the side. Right. This is a big moment now for New Zealand because they will be receiving the kickoff with 35 seconds left on the clock. Another draw if it as we go to Golden Point, and it will be going down to the absolute wire in this game also. Whatever happens here, fast improvement this week from the Blitzboks. Content with this tournament. They go short. It goes to 10. And JC Pretorius claims it. Ormond tries to drive him into touch, but New Zealand not willing to attack that one as they thought it wasn't going 10. Duprea now ball on the outside. It will be Delvin Blood. Good tackle made on the 22 by Kurt Baker. New Zealand with 2 men lured into that break, but now they take them back out. Wide ball from Duarte. That's the full-time siren. Short ball to the bulldozer Zane Davids. Got a bit excited there. I called him Zane Davids. I don't think a Dane can be Zane. But now off to the side, Branko Duprea on the short side. Inside ball, Delvin Blood almost put that ball down. Kurt Baker fighting for the ball in the breakdown. New Zealand under a huge amount of pressure now. If it's a draw, we go to Golden Point, but we may not need it. Now Shilton Van Veek, JC Pretorius, one-on-one on the wing, taking down New Zealand. Give away the penalty for the players not rolling away. Van Veek takes the quick tap. And now it's wide open. Duarte just short of the line. Zane Davids in there. Shelton Van Veek round the side. And the South Africans move through to the final. That will be the last minute try. New Zealand will be playing for bronze up against the USA, and Ireland have got their matchup up against South Africa in the DUBAI Sevens final. And let's win tonight's index and go to the box. Here's Samantha Housen. Go, boys. And a wild try. There is blood leaking out of the forehead of one of the Kiwi players at the moment, but that will be the game. South Africa victorious 24 points in the end to a 19. It sounds like a classic game. Sorry about the result, Amy, says Ethan. It's all good. What a game of rugby it was. And can I hear 26-19? Did they get the conversion? Because if they did, you've nailed it, Gareth. If they didn't, I'd still say that you have nailed it because it's close enough. And who's versus Sevens in the final? It is going to be up against the Irish. And also as USA versus Ireland next day. They have actually already played. Ireland won that game up against the USA in Golden Point time. So now it will be South Africa versus Ireland in the final box. Yes, says Adrian. Great work from Shilton Van Veek right at the end of the game, getting through, scoring that try. Okay, they've just got Delvin Blood as the man who they're interviewing, but that is not Delvin Blood. That is Shilton Van Veek. And also we have got there, I don't know, it says Ezra, and also the thumbs up from Elon there. And as Ireland player, or has Ireland played? They haven't. They did play. They versed the USA and they won. So they are going to be through to the final for the first time in the DUBAI Sevens, and final for Samoa and South Africa. Says Tualupe. So it is actually going to be USA versus Ireland versus South Africa. Has Ireland won a tournament? I don't believe so. And also, what time is the final? It will be taking place at 4:26 a.m. That third place playoff game between USA and New Zealand will be taking place at 3:07 a.m. New Zealand time. Don't need a conversion. And nice. Yes, it was exactly what you said, Gareth. Good stuff. Nailed it. And you should have gotten paid as well, I think, for that result. And Ireland getting better by the year. They certainly are. And it's about time Ireland do well in sevens. Maybe they'll get good at leagues someday. There's Elon in there as well. But the bronze final, like I mentioned, USA versus New Zealand. Ireland going to be playing South Africa in the cup final for the gold. Yeah, we will be back for that matchup. But nonetheless, thank you all very much for tuning in. If you did enjoy, be sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel. And I will see you all back for the final at 4:25 a.m. I will see you all for the next one.